How hot is hot?
About my black brother, I love you, and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you, forever true. These are the things that change for me.
Every man has a higher self and a lower self. With your higher self, you can achieve greatness and things beyond this planet. With your lower self, you get your basic needs, but also to create darkness. Find your balance, King.
Hotep, children of the sun, and welcome. Your #1 station focused on rebuilding our nation. WMLR, More Life Radio, proudly presents Brother, 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 a show dedicated to the upliftment and encouragement of the melanated kings.
Yo, I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. King of New York, nah, now how that shit sound? King of the coast, nah, I cover more ground. King of oneself, yeah, that's how I get down. Yeah, my skin brown, that's that melanin. Ha, I'm wearing it proud, it ain't no telling when. Ha, they might come around screaming irrelevant. Ha, ain't gonna get down and plant the evidence. But I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. Descended of kings and queens, and we don't know what that mean. Turn the palace to the projects and shatter esteem. But I'm here to let it be known, no matter the scene, they can't take royalty from your being. It's embedded in your DNA and your genes. $1,000 sneakers and jeans, you could invest in yourself and your dreams. Is you hearing me now? Them pedestal folks letting you down. Since James Brown said I'm black and I'm proud, they've been pumping us with the opposite. Dividing and conquer's pretty obvious. Misled and misguided, this shit monotonous. My kings and my queens show them how loud it get. Cause I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. It comes in so many forms and many colors is worn. Same hoodie is straight Vaughn, the gray like when Freddie was born. This energy here, it's more than this song. So if you feeling it, then sing it along. Go! I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown.
Now T, the smarter, the harder the battle. Classism, blacks prison and slaughter like cattle. Divide and conquer's been a modern mantra. Put you in front of your honor, for your mama could buy you your first Tonka. The Erics, the Sandras, and little Guyanas. Turned into hashtag, shit feeling like Baghdad. Because of my pigment, I swear this stuff is ridiculous. Living in these conditions, it's hard to duck a conviction. Misinterpret religion, discourage courage and vision. Teach us that we were slaves and never brought our position as royals. Subconsciously destroying esteem. Kings and queens, don't let the system scissor your dreams.
I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown. I ain't here for playing around, now wear the crown.
With your host, KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN, and TEHUTI, VIRGO, exclusively on WMLR. Without further ado, all hail the King. WMLR More Life Radio. Welcome, family. It's a terrific Thursday night, and you know we're feeling all right. It's your boy TEHUTI, the Fly Virgo, checking in once again on a fabulous Thursday with brother on your #1 station dedicated to Black emancipation. Can you dig that? I thought you could. And of course, you know I don't do this by myself. I got to bring my road dog, my twin flame, my mellow, my man, my ace, boom, coon, KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN. Peace, King. How you feeling tonight?
Man, I feel with my hands, King. You know how that
absolutely, is? Absolutely. And I'm also doing something, this is kind of different for us. Most of you who have followed us over the last almost 3 years, you know we were on Blog Talk. So now we are on YouTube. And I'm also doing a Facebook Live video at the same time. So to hear the whole dialogue, go to YouTube, type in the search bar, WMLR, More Like Radio, and you can join us live. You can interact in the chat box, and we're going to get it in tonight. We got some good stuff tonight to talk about. The Kings do this. This, of course, is our show dedicated to the melanated kings, dedicated to the upliftment, the promotion, and just the love of Black men. You understand?
That's right.
So, KHONSU, man, how's your day been, man? Everything good?
Man, everything is blessed, man. I've been very fortunate, bro. Today's been great. I've been productive, took care of my business. I'm here in one piece, man. Ready to chew the fat, man.
Absolutely, man. We got a lot to talk about. Got a powerful show for you. I want to try to give people a chance. Once again, I'm doing a simultaneous broadcast on Facebook Live on my page. So in order to hear the total dialogue, because I want you to hear my man KHONSU, you got to hear that. If you're just watching me on Facebook, you're only going to hear me, and so it'll sound crazy. So take this opportunity, go to YouTube, type in the search bar, WMLR, More Life Radio, and you'll see the live video feed. It's a new platform. We're working things out. We're excited about it. And yeah, man, KHONSU. So lots to talk about. Let's start off with the common thing that, men talk about. This is a show where you'll get to find out what's on the minds of real men. And you're welcome to chime in. You're welcome to comment. We encourage that. And I hope that you will do that, especially you ladies, because tonight, I'm going to step on some toes for the ladies tonight.
Uh-oh.
We're going to step on some toes.
New polish.
Okay.
Get your new polish.
Yeah. I hope they polished. I hope they ain't hammer time, because we're going to step on them tonight. All right. Yeah, the YouTube channel. When you go to YouTube, you type in the search bar, WMLR, and you'll see it'll be the first one that pops up. And subscribe, please. We're building this. We're going into our 3rd year as a radio station. You can access all of our shows over on Blog Talk. We've done close to 300 shows. We've had all types of variety of programming. Our goal is to uplift, educate, and of course, entertain when it calls for that, for our people, all Black, everything first. That's what it is, unapologetically. And, and it's my twin flame, KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN. Helps me keep things together, man. A very inspirational brother, dope brother, as you're going to see tonight. And very,
thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A wealth of knowledge. This brother, I've learned so much. It's a beautiful thing when you can. Hi, D. I'm shouting out people. I see them checking in. It's a beautiful thing when, you link up. The universe brings people into your world that really get you and really see what it is you see and see what it is you're trying to do, and they have something to add to it. And that's what this is, man. Me and this brother, we've been doing this show now for over a year. We don't prepare necessarily. Sometimes we'll get together and we'll kind of go over what we're going to talk about, but for the most part, we do this freestyle. We come off the cuff because we want it to be a natural show. It's not a topic show. I get asked that a lot, KHONSU. I don't know about you.
I do too.
But I get asked that a lot. It's not a show based on one topic, okay? And we encourage the kings to come on in. It's like a barbershop. Come on in, something on your mind, on your heart. You need, anything, encouragement. ideas, suggestions, advice, anything like that, we encourage you to call in. Well, you know, now you go to the chat box. All right, we got you. KHONSU, what's on your mind tonight, King? What's on your mind, man?
Well, you know, I got a couple of things I want to talk about, man. I'm going to use the aid and assistance of one of our great ancestors, the brother Malcolm X. He's going to, you know, kind of segue into what I'm speaking on tonight and kind of go back into the mentality of Kanye West, man, and now the new topic, which is Childish Gambino. We are now enthralled in the Gambino conspiracy in the black community. So I kind of want to touch on that, King. But I know you got some doozies.
Absolutely, man. And now I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to ask you about that video. KHONSU, we got an issue with the video, with the visuals. Can you switch the camera over? A lot of the people are saying they can't see us. And remember, if you're watching this on Facebook live, I only did it because I wanted to bring you on over to YouTube. So please check in the YouTube, type in WMLR in the search bar, and we'll be the first one that pops up there. That's our page. Please hit subscribe. That way, when we do this, you will be notified that we're actually doing it. So, yeah, very excited.
If they could type in the chat box in YouTube, because from what I can see, the video is crystal clear.
Okay, there we go. I had to refresh. There we go. I see it now. All right. So yeah, boom. All right. So tonight, last week or Sunday, we talked about Kanye West, and it was such an elaborate topic. I don't think we got to do it real justice. And so I want to kind of revisit that and add some things to it. I had an opportunity to watch a video with Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Claude Anderson. I know that our listeners and our supporters are sophisticated, educated, knowledgeable people. So y'all know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. I don't have to explain that and go through all of that. You already know. We have some of the most, if not the most sophisticated listeners. We are all, as you know, we are primary researchers and peripheral investigators here. So we do our research and try to give you the correct knowledge of things. So I know you know who Dr. Claude is. So Dr. Claude Anderson. So they were talking about Kanye, of course. And the question, KHONSU, I've had an opportunity to really marinate on the topic, on the issue. Was slavery voluntary? Is slavery a choice? And I've had some revelations about that, man. But the one thing that brought it home was Dr. Claude Anderson, and he brought up a topic, brought up a phrase, and it's called meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission. Now, if you don't know what that means, I'm going to encourage you, as we do here at WMLR More Life Radio, for you to research it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you, but I also want you to get it for yourself. Now, again, on Facebook Live, if you're just tuning in, we're encouraging you to go over to YouTube. That's why I'm doing this, so that way you can hear all of the dialogue. Otherwise, you won't hear KHONSU. Okay, so please visit us on YouTube. Type in WMLR in the search bar, and there you are, right here with us.
Voila.
Right here with us, and we're so happy. Okay, meritorious manumission. The word meritorious meaning earned, and manumission meaning freedom. This was a code of ethics that was set in place, as Dr. Claude Anderson explains it. It was set in place back in the 1900s, around 1905 up to 1950, and really more so toward 1950. This is where there were 3 ways that you could gain your freedom as a slave: through meritorious manumission. One of them was if you saved the life of a Caucasian or a European person. That was one way you could gain your freedom. Another one was if you snitched on other Africans who were probably plotting an insurrection or a revolt of any kind. Same thing that has happened to all the revolts that happen here in this country. So understand that there were revolts that happened here before what's my man's name? I just slipped my mind. Nat Turner.
Yes, sir.
Before Nat Turner, there were revolts that happened here in this country, but that were thwarted because of the fact that we have those people among us, our own, who will rat us out, who will go and tell thinking that they're going to get brownie points. That is meritorious manumission. It still goes on today. Okay. The third way that you could gain your freedom under meritorious manumission was if you created wealth for a white person. If you showed them a way where they could make more money, that was another way where you could get your freedom. Well, when you talk about meritorious manumission, it almost suggests that yes, slavery was a choice. It became a choice. It wasn't a choice at the beginning. And I understood when Kanye said it. I understood. I sat back. Now, when I first heard it, I was like everybody else. I reacted emotionally. We have a tendency to do that, KHONSU. Right. And you know this. I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, we have a tendency to hear something or something somebody famous said, and we jump all over it, especially if it's our own. That's a mindset. Okay, so it's a true fact. So meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission. Get your pens and pads ready tonight, family. WMLR, you're going to get a little bit of everything tonight. You're going to get brother. You're going to get a little more talk. You're going to get a little KHONSU's Corner. You're going to get a little more love. You're going to get a lot tonight because we're going to go there. All right. So, KHONSU, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Why don't you talk about, let me ask you a direct question.
Okay.
How do you see meritorious manumission being acted out today? You heard the three ways. We can apply them, but the rules to the code of ethics has changed. And we're going to talk about that too, code of ethics. Black people, we need to learn to stay on code. We got to develop a code and stick with it, but that's another conversation. But yes, go ahead, KHONSU. What do you think about this
Meritorious
manumission? I love learning new words and new stuff.
Well,
go ahead, brother.
In today's time, bro, it can be a wide variety. I think just based on the nature of how we socialize and communicate, my first thought would be the entertainment business. How could I say industry? We tend to, I believe that we sell out. We sell out, brother. We shortchange our potential for the sake of appeasing the powers that be. You understand what I'm saying? We won an Oscar award, so we're satisfied with, okay, Denzel, great actor, one of the greatest actors of all time, one of the greatest thespians, black or white. But he had to be recognized as a crooked drug dealing cop. Out of all the great, because I thought the one role he should have got an Oscar for was Malcolm X. Or pro athletes. We aspire to be pro athletes, and not for the same reason as the European does. I think that when we aspire for those things, we look at it as a way out of poverty. It's not necessarily, that's part of our motivation for some of us. And we have a lot of pressure to actually save our families in doing such. I also see it in relationships, King. Now, this is going to be rough. Are you ready? the majority of our black women commit or actually do acts of meritorious manumission. They've become one of the major factors in the attack of the black man. I'm going to say that, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear it, but I just have to be honest. And those are some of the examples that I see, brother. Yeah, those are some of the examples that I see. I don't know if you're talking, but I know you're muted, King, I think. But yeah, go ahead.
No, we're doing the simultaneous broadcast.
Yo, that's right.
I see people checking in, so I'm trying to, because you dropping some gems, and I heard everything you said.
Yes, sir.
And you're absolutely right. Our women do, some of our women, we're not going to say it's all, and we're going to get to that. Sisters, I got something for y'all tonight, and I welcome opposing, divergent points of views. I have no issue with that. That's what helps us to grow. Master Teacher Neely Fuller Jr. calls it constructive conversation, and he says that's something that we need to be able to do better as a people. We've got to learn to be able to have divergent opinions without injecting our emotions in it. It's pitiful, and we're going to talk about that. Women,
King, I want to say this really quick. For those of you that you probably can't hear me, some of you probably have tuned in to YouTube and are listening, we also have a call-in. We have a live call-in number.
What?
You can call in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put the number on the screen. It's area code 515-604-9985. Put in the access code 719289. Now, this is what's going to happen when you call this number. You might get some really amusing elevator music. Give me a moment, because I'm going to see you hit on my operator board. I'm going to see that you're in there waiting, and I'm going to jump on and transition you right into the call. So this is similar to Blog Talk, guys, of like hitting that number 1. So just come on into the lounge with brother. Call that number. You see it on your screen, 515-604-9985. Access code 719289. Dial that number, and we'll gladly, man, we appreciate your opinions and your thoughts and your views right here on Brother. So that's what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it does, King. I love it.
Yes,
I see you always so full of surprises, man, because I talked to him, and he didn't say nothing about a number, so I love it. And welcoming everybody. If you are jumping in on the Facebook broadcast, please join us over on our YouTube channel, where we are broadcasting live right now. Brother, our platform for the melanated man, the Black King. I see Brother Ed watching. Yeah, come on over to YouTube. Type in WMLR in the search bar, and you'll see the live video feed. That way you can interact with us in the chat box. So if you have any comments or questions, we'll be able to field them right here. And we have a call-in number, boy. What? Yeah. We're going to flash it up on the screen on YouTube. You know what I mean? So you need to come on over there so you can be included. We welcome
Come
you.
through, fam. Call up, famo.
Absolutely. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be right here with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Right.
It's our 3rd year, going in our 3rd year, May 18th. That's the date. That's the date of birth for WMLR, More Like Radio. And we're just trying to do bigger and better things. Shout out to my man, Brother Ed, Professor Silence, who's also a family member of WMLR. Shout out to him. And real quick, KHONSU, let me do this. Let me shout out some people, man, that really help build. Yeah, they help build WMLR. So I have to show them love. Felicia Daniels, the Queen, Mayat Amonset, Brother Professor Silence. Who else am I missing? So many. We've had so many family members that have gone on to do their own thing. They imparted a lot into the ideology and what we were trying to present and what we did. And that's professional broadcasting on this level. So now we're doing it this way, and we're very proud of that. So yes, once again, if you're joining in on the Facebook Live broadcast that I've got going on, go to YouTube, type in WMLR in the search bar, and there you are. And there will be. All you have to do is click it, and also subscribe. Please, we're building this. We want to have a phenomenal year doing this. So help us out. Subscribe. You're going to see things changing. You know, we are investing in what we do. So invest in your brand. Okay. All right. Back to it, KHONSU. We're talking about meritorious manumission. This is where it was a code of ethics that was created back in 1950. And I got this information from Dr. Claude Anderson, watching him on Dr. Boyce Watkins' show today. So if you get an opportunity, check that out. And the question was slavery a choice? So we're kind of continuing on. Yeah, there we go. I see Brenda, Queen. That's Queen Amonset right there. Peace, Queen. Yes, indeed. Thank you for chopping it up with us, Queen. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah. So he was talking about responding to the Kanye West thing, and I think it's such a really big topic right now because it's got people thinking, and it's got people having real constructive conversation. Because when you think about it, was it a choice? Was slavery a choice? Now, you can say at the beginning that it wasn't, but now we can talk about meritorious manumission, and we see that happening today. We see it going down. We see black people in prominent positions, politicians. Great example, Barack Obama. Meritorious manumission. I mean, let's call it what it is. This brother had an opportunity, and he helped out other people, other groups. He was not allowed to talk directly to his own or deal with his own. Never went to Chicago and dealt with what was going on there. Could have been way more vocal. It hasn't been since he left. Hasn't been since he left. You haven't heard anything from Barack. We just had 84 killings in Chicago in the last week or so, and you haven't heard anything from Barack. We're talking about meritorious manumission. This is where black people do things to earn favor. So I saw you put up a post about Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes.
Kind of tie the two in together, if you will, King. Meritorious manumission and the Stockholm Syndrome. Kind of tie them in together, man. See how that works.
Well, you know, I posted that on Facebook, and actually in honor to Dr. Francis Quest Wilson, who spoke on it, and how we subconsciously, I'm victim of anti-blackness. I do things that are anti-black all the time, so I have to catch myself. I'm a victim of post-traumatic slave syndrome. I do a lot of things that are detrimental to my own people. I have to check myself a lot. We have a tendency to have a rapport of love and adoration to the person that oppresses us. We tend to want to find a way to justify the acts of oppression and abuse by mending it through, hey, let's just work it out. Let's just be loving toward each other. Instead of cutting those ties and recognizing the abuse as the main factor of the psychological condition. And a lot of us suffer from periods of psychosis and anxiety. A large portion of us do this, especially those of us that are not sheltered from oppression and the systematic racism every day. Some of us are. Some of us in America that are of color really don't even experience any acts of racism because we're in an isolated area. Or we may be the minority in an area where we went to an all-white high school. There was one or two of you in that high school that were black. Those kind of things. But for the most part, we suffer from these conditions.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, I think that, you know, things can change if we start to really become aware of what's going on. And there's so much happening, I think we become numb. I don't know. Or is it just that we don't want to know? We don't care to know? You don't care to do any different. And then when somebody like Kanye West makes a comment like that, we rip his head off without really thinking about what he's saying. Even Dr. Claude Anderson said in the interview he did with Dr. Boyce Watkins, he said that Kanye was talking about mental slavery. And if that be the case, then he was absolutely correct.
Exactly.
Mental slavery is a choice. Yeah, mental slavery is a choice. It still exists. We are still suffering from it, but it's self-inflicted. We uphold everything that our oppressor has taught us. We refuse to call ourselves and refer to ourselves as what we are, and that is African descendants. And it's because we don't know. We think we Irish, we think we Jewish, we think we all these other ethnic groups that don't do anything for us, with us, or anything like that. Listen, I heard Farrakhan one time talking, and somebody asked him the question. He said, "Well, Farrakhan, what do you say to the white people that are marching? What do you say to the Mexicans, the Hispanic people that are marching and carrying signs, Black Lives Matter? What do you say to those people?" He said, "Well, it's kind of hard. If I'm looking at 1 million snakes, poisonous snakes, I'm looking at 1 million poisonous snakes. But within this group of 1 million poisonous snakes, 10,000 of the snakes are non-poisonous. How do I get to those non-poisonous? How do I discern which snakes are non-poisonous out of 1 million poisonous? Think about that for a minute."
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that you have people that are sympathetic for the cause. That's a human thing, but it's not enough. It's not. And it's one thing for them to march and be a part of what we're doing, but then they go home and they do nothing else, so and they have certain things that they're able to do. They don't do it. And so I was thinking about this today, this meritorious manumission, meritorious manumission. Look it up, family. Write it down, look it up. I hope you got your pens and pads ready, because we're going to get that knowledge tonight. We're going to get education tonight. It's the bottom of the hour, 9:30. We want to welcome you again, WMLR, More Life Radio. I am TEHUTI, the fly Virgo. That's my main man right there throwing down KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN. So yeah, KHONSU, I wanted to touch back on that, man, and kind of make my stand definitive about the whole Kanye thing. It doesn't matter who says it. Is it a real concept? Is it real? And then we have to start to really analyze. My message to Kanye would be, Kanye, be careful with the words you use. Be careful with the words you use. Right. We have to be very mindful. Start being very mindful of the words that we use when we talk about things and when we talk to each other. That's another topic. That's right.
That's right.
But, yeah, that's what was on my mind first, man. I wanted to share that with you, man. Meritorious manumission.
I dig it, man. I receive it. And I internalize it, man. That's I think you started a trend. Maybe we need to bring a vocabulary word every episode of Brother. Mm-hmm. Because, man, your vocabulary expands your knowledge. Trust me when I tell you that. You learn a new word every day, man. It gives you a better perspective. So I'm with that, man. I'm with that. Well, King, since we're talking about Kanye West, I wanted to bring a sound clip from one of our elders. I wanted to play this clip, and I value your opinion, of course. And of course, like you say, all our listeners have a high IQ. Very, very intellectual group of people here at WMLR, our family, and we take pride in that. And this is something, man, this is going to show how our great elders like this brother here was truly ahead of their time, bro. They were really ahead of their time, and we really have to work so hard so that we can bring more of these kind of brothers into the world, man, and develop more brothers into this kind of brother. And the brother I'm talking about is the Venerable Malcolm X. Very controversial brother. He died amidst a lot of controversy. And he really embodied the modern mind of the black man and the black family, really showing how you're never too old to change. And even when you change, you still can learn more. And this is something that I thought would be quite appropriate in light of what's going on with the Kanye and the Childish Gambino and things like that, the Bill Cosby. These are some serious things that are going on in our paradox. So, guys, this is Brother Malcolm X, and he's going to be talking about entertainers. So, brother, sit back and let's listen to Malcolm really quick as he expounds on entertainment.
Told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. And it is an honor, actually, that they endorsed Dr. Martin Luther King and were against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's actually an honor. Now, when you say that they also, in this same Newsweek poll magazine, I think the pollster said that he went into the Negro community and asked about the Muslims. And many Negroes whom he asked said, well, I never heard of the Muslims. Who are they? You know,
this is the rank and file we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Now, when they got down to the rank and file, this was the answers that they got. This is equivalent to the situation in Kenya during the Mau Mau uprising, when many frightened whites in Kenya, Africa, would go among the Africans and ask them, what about the Mau Mau? And the African would say, I never heard of them. And the same white man who would ask the African this question and very naively believe what the African said, when he went to bed that night, he would lose his head. And usually the one who took his head was the same African who told him that afternoon he had never heard of the Mau Mau.
Except in the Newsweek poll, they used Negro interviewers.
You'll find that oftentimes Negroes are as much on guard around Negro interviewers, who usually represent the bourgeois element of Negroes, as they are on guard around whites. Usually Negroes know that when this bourgeois Negro walks through the door, he is not doing something that he's initiated himself, but he's involved in something in which the white man is the absolute author of and has sent him to the Negro community for some information. And when they give that Negro some information, usually they give him the information that they want him to take back to the white man, because that's who he's going to take it back to. Told you.
Wow, that is some powerful, powerful dialogue from the great Malcolm X, man. When I heard this, it just immediately spoke to the situation involving Kanye West, the situation involving Colin Kaepernick, certain situations around LeBron James, situations involving Muhammad Ali, it just, Bill Cosby today, it just put me into space, King. It put me into space because it gave me an understanding of what's really important to us in our community. What do we prioritize, King? I mean, what did you get out of that sound right there?
Well, the same thing that's going on today. You have a handful that are aware of what the issues are, and then you have the majority that are easily distracted. And this was something that was learned about us from our oppressors. We have to realize and understand one thing, family, is that we have been studied. They have done research on us. So they know what motivates us. They know that we are already a spiritual people. So how easily is it to overtake these people by using religion? Okay, so that's what it says to me. And I totally agree. Totally 100% agree with Brother Malcolm, of course, a master teacher, great master teacher. I think it's sad that a lot of his lessons, some 50, 60 years old now, still apply today. So then you ask yourself the question, is slavery a choice? And when you understand where Kanye West was coming from, he's talking about mental slavery. And so therefore the answer is yes, it is a choice. And there are many of us that are choosing, because of these distractions, because of the meritorious manumission, wanting to fit in with people who have, I'm serious, who have no good feeling for us. They fear us because they know who we are and what we come from. And so therefore, you know, it's amazing to me that we are still able to talk about something like that is ancient now, you know, 50, 60 years old. And it still applies to today. Dr. Garvey, all of the great master teachers that laid the blueprint and the foundation, we have completely ignored. Half of us don't even know who these people are, KHONSU. So how can we know, right? How can we apply the lessons that we got? Sad.
And
very
you know,
sad.
and this is what, you know, Kanye, very popular, prominent figure in the entertainment world, but he should be put in a proper perspective to allow to be Kanye. I think that, you know, we put too much onus on the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Kanyes, the Jay-Z's, Beyonce's. We put too much onus on replicating and owning up to being them when they are just a cog in the wheel of white supremacy. It's a job for them, everybody. It's a means of employment. And so what they can and will be able to do is stifle to a certain degree. They really won't be able to be the freedom fighter that you would want them to be, especially in 2018. Things have changed. And we have to look at different modalities in which we can galvanize and revolutionize against our own emancipation. We have to start looking at our school teachers, our judges, our politicians. We have to start looking at key positions, the school bus drivers, the child care workers. These are people that we really should be paying attention to that are influential in the family structure, dealing with the holy black trinity, which is man, woman, and child. This is so important. And I think that all media outlets that are mainly ran by Sony, Universal Studios, Warner Brothers, and 20th Century Fox, these are major European conglomerates that control how media is disseminated for us to assimilate. And so we don't have a choice in how we receive media. We have to choose from what's given to us and do the best with what we can. So the last primary source, when we talk about being a primary researcher, that you want to rely on is TMZ when it comes to understanding what a person's trying to say. That's the last. Please don't go off TMZ and BET to define who a person is. Please don't.
And media take out, you know, a lot of people, I don't know. I tell you, KHONSU, it really saddens me because it just seems as though we're going backwards. And even when it comes to dealing with one another, you know, we've talked about the non-importance of the celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with black leadership, so-called black leadership. We don't need it. We all have the capability of leading. Once again, the YouTube address, Mr. Allen, Richard Allen, Peace King. Go in the search bar and just type in WMLR and you'll see it. It's the first one that pops up, and just go to the page and click on the live video feed and you catch the show. You're not too late. We're just really getting started and getting into it. We want to thank you. As always, like we said, we big up our supporters. We don't refer to you as followers or anything like that because you are leaders and you support what we're trying to do. And we appreciate you for it. We really do. That's why we go ahead,
We also got
KHONSU.
some YouTube etiquette because this is a new format. So you're used to us on the Blog Talk platform, but this is YouTube. We definitely need you to hit the like button right there, the thumbs up, hit the like button for the show, and then become a subscriber to More Life Radio WMLR on YouTube, and make sure you click the bell on the notification symbol when you subscribe, so that every time we go live or we put up content, you'll get a notification, man. So we want y'all to become part of the notification squad right here on WMLR by following these etiquette tips, man. Stay plugged in, stay part of the matrix, so you're always on top of everything that we present right here on WMLR. Yes.
And we appreciate it. We really do. Our goal is to present things to you in a professional manner, professional broadcasting. We go about it the same way. We research, we collect the evidence, the information, and we present it to you. And we also encourage you to get it for yourself. There's nothing more gratifying than learning something on your own, like meritorious manumission. Yeah. Yes. Meritorious manumission. This is where, again, that phrase means earned freedom. It was a code of ethics. We're not going to go all the way back over. I'm just going to kind of recap for those that are just joining and getting here a little late. Meritorious manumission is where a black person could earn their freedom. And there were three primary things that they had to do. One was either save the life of a Caucasian or European person. Two was become an informant, a snitch against your own. If they were planning an insurrection or any type of revolt, then if you want to be free, you would exercise meritorious manumission, and you would go and tell on your own people and get them caught and killed in most cases. And then the third was create wealth for any person of European descent. Those are the three guidelines of meritorious manumission. And it's crazy because everything we're going to talk about tonight kind of ties into that. I want to talk to our queens and come from a respectful place. But KHONSU, I'm looking at the time. We got about 10 minutes before the top of the hour. You want to go to a quick break? And then when we come back, I got a question. Yeah, I got a question, man. I've also got a response to a queen. Her name she goes by the name of Mel McInnes. And I watched a video from her, and I had to bring this out tonight and respond. I don't know if she'll see this. I'm hoping that she does. We'd even love to have her here on the show. She come into the Lion's Den. That's okay. Just come on in here to the Lion's Den if you want to. Come on. Come on in here. You walk over, you're going to limp out. All right? I'm going to just tell you right now, you come here talking that foolishness. But anyway, this queen says, and she is refuting the claim that black women can emasculate a black man. All right?
That they can.
She's saying that they cannot. There's no such a thing as a black woman emasculating a black man. Now, it's getting ready to get hot up in here. Remember, the chat box is open. I want your feedback. Queens, if you're watching this, please give us your feedback. I'll read it. Okay? KHONSU will flash the number again if you want to call in and you want us to really feel your energy. Give us a call, and because this is going to be a hot topic. And I'm going to say some things. I'm going to tell you right now. I ain't afraid. I ain't come here for no foolishness, and I ain't scared of you either. I'm going to say some things tonight that, hey, black women, it's time for y'all to step up. Y'all talk about it with us all the time. We need y'all to step up too. We need you to get your mindset right. And yes, you can emasculate a black man, but we're going to talk about that after the break. KHONSU, you want to go ahead and take us to break?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, everybody, man, you're listening to WMLR, More Life Radio, and brother with myself, KHONSU SHESHMU AMUN, and of course, my twin flame, right over there, TEHUTI the Fly Virgo, and we coming at you, man, visually. And of course, we bringing sweet, sweet music to your ears, man. So, yeah, we coming up on top of the hour. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to segue in to Dr. Ray Higgins. Oh, man, he's going to say some prolific stuff, y'all, during the break. And also, stay tuned for our mantra. Coming from Brother by no other than the notorious Dame Dash. So we'll be back, y'all. This is Brother, right here on WMLR, man. We love y'all. Sit tight, y'all. We'll be right back.
You're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So how much money can you get paid to not... there's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they can call me, so I can call them a boss. That's like calling somebody dad. How can a man call another man, yo, that's my boss? We don't do that.
I mean, everybody at some point has to have a boss, right?
No, not in Harlem. Oh, okay. Put it like this.
You're somebody's boss.
No, I'm not somebody's boss. When I was in the street, if someone wasn't your boss, they gave you an opportunity.
Okay.
They gave you some work. You go make it, and then you bring it back. You can go buy your own work and do whatever you want. It's called consignment.
So why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we could be using this.
You don't own it.
But I'm telling you,
no, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Question. Let me ask you a question.
Listen.
Can you give it to your son?
How you want to your son?
Whatever you
shares
want
of this company, I absolutely positively can.
How?
Yeah, because I own shares of this company.
You bought them?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company
this
to you?
This company is not mine. No,
exactly.
It's not mine. But
wait, stop. Listen. That's not my question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him? No. If your son needs to get some money out the bank from here, some cash flow, can you get it?
No.
All right. You don't own this.
But I can take the money from here to invest in myself.
No, it's not yours. I'm not going to fight for something I don't own. Men don't do that. I don't fight for other. I fight for me. I'm not a doer. I'm not going to build somebody else's company and then take shares so my son can... All that.
But I'm not
listen, what I'm saying.
But what about taking the money?
You come to work
every day. You took the money from Def Jam.
Stop. Don't say you're speaking my business and you don't know what you're talking about. I ain't take no money from Def Jam. What you talking about?
I mean, they cut you a check.
No, they didn't cut me a check. We had a formula based on performance, and they calculated it and we got paid.
That's us.
Stop. That's not us.
That's what we doing.
No. We listen. Before we had Rockefeller. We put up our own money for Rockefeller, right?
Okay.
When we sold half of it, we became partners. So that means no one gave us anything. We were 50-50 partners. We built something and sold it. That doesn't mean you work for somebody. See, they let you believe that. So then what happened was, based on a formula. You know what a formula is? It was profit times a certain number. So if you make this much profit times 7, that's how much your number is.
Okay.
Based on that formula, they bought the rest. That's it. That's not nobody giving me money. I never worked for them. I put up way more money than Def Jam put up. Me, Biggs, and Jay put way more money up into Def Jam. I mean, rather into Rockefeller than Def Jam. All they did was collect our money. What you mean? Why you think Def Jam? First of all, when we were with Def Jam, they were bought by Universal. How you gonna call Def? How you gonna think someone that's bought by someone could be someone's boss? That's my point. You have to understand what you're doing in business because you got to do what's best for your kids. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something. The stress, go through all of it. So when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you can just pass it to him.
Now you talk about
so you're gonna work 20 years in a business or 15 years in a business every day over and over again, and your son can't work here whenever he feel like it. You clowning me.
I don't want him to work.
But that's not saying you. If you own it, wait a second. Time out. That's stupid. You should be. Time out. No, you're wrong.
I like the check.
Wait, time out. Time out. You're lying. Before you lose your control, just stay focused. So listen to me. So why don't you listen?
I'm working for free.
Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
I'm not. It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
I don't think it's a slavery, Dan.
Do you have to come to work today? Do you have a choice? Do you have to ask somebody when you have to? Yes, you do.
I don't.
Or you're fired. Can somebody tell you you're fired? Can somebody tell you you're fired? Yes or no? Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless.
But I'm here because
I don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to tell you you're fired. Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you can pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? Dash or whatever your last name is instead of somebody else's. My pride is in my children. Like, look what I'm doing right now. Look at my son. I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.
My kids are good.
How they good? Your kids are going to be kids.
I feel like I'm in the Def Jam boardroom and backstage.
They kids, they're not supposed to work. I'm saying when they men, you're supposed to pass them something. You working for another man.
They're worried about
See, to me, this is retarded. See, the other
questions. I feel like I'm in Def Jam boardroom. This is not backstage. Everybody cool out for a second. But Dan, I'll ask you a question. Ask your businessman. What's wrong with taking the money from here and investing it into other stuff that we own?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Thank you.
Everybody eat a cookie. Cool out for a second.
I'm not mad. The mentality is this. It's frustrating because you're on the radio and this message is crazy to me. You're saying because you enjoy music or being a DJ, you enjoy having a boss. If you enjoy being a DJ, just why don't you own your own radio station and then DJ for your own radio station so your son can just get on anytime he wants? That's all I'm saying.
But it's steps to it, though.
No, there's no steps to it because I do it. See, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. My son takes pride. My kids take pride in the fact that I have Dash Motors. And because I have that, my son said, I'm not going to ever have a boss. His mentality is different. It's just about changing mentality.
Well, let me ask you a question. There's millions of people out there that don't have that opportunity and
all have
a boss every day. So you're basically saying because they have a boss, there is no pride in it?
I think because people on the radio tell people it's okay to have a boss, they don't understand that they can have more. And because of the direct-to-consumer relationship with the internet, there's no excuse. So when I make a movie like Losada's, I don't have to ask if I could put Daniel in the movie. I just do it. I had to ask if I could put... Wait, hold on. I had to ask if I could put Cameron. I don't have to ask them. You understand? There's pride in that. It's just a pride you should have in ownership.
So how do you get to that platform? How do you get to the platform?
By putting your own money up and investing in yourself. That's it. You flip. And getting a good woman. And stop trusting dudes. And stop worrying about other people's pockets and what other people have and what other people can do for you. And 9-to-5s aren't good because you hustle for a weekend. But when you do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like it. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first. Welcome.
Asked earlier, the need today is for black Africans who have been divinely called out and set apart for the particular purpose and or mission of liberating, resurrecting, and empowering other black Africans. The need today is for them to get serious about their assignment and stop being distracted and start bringing forth some fruit. That's the need today. But how you gonna bring forth fruit if you keep getting distracted? And how you gonna stop being distracted if you don't know what your assignment is? I challenge you today, brothers and sisters, what is your assignment? What did God put you on this planet for? Why did God let you come out of your mama's womb?
WMLR, brother, more like radio. KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN, along with guess who? TEHUTI the Fly Virgo, and we are back right here on brother, man, oh man. Let me, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Get set.
Before you do that, let me real quick, because I still see people checking in on the Facebook page.
Yes.
If you're checking in, please join us on our YouTube channel, our new YouTube channel. This is the new and improved WMLR, y'all. The new and improved. We're doing it like this, and it's only going to get better with your help. We appreciate it. We thank you. We are humbled by your being here with us tonight. So if you're checking in on Facebook, go over to YouTube, type in WMLR in the search bar, and you will see the YouTube page, and click on it. You'll see the live broadcast happening right now. You're a part of it right here, WMLR, More Life Radio, your #1 station dedicated to Black emancipation, by the way. I need to say that. You need to say that.
Well, I want to say that you heard Dame Dash, which is the brother mantra.
Yes, indeed.
About really getting your own, man, establishing your own, establishing a habit of ownership, man, true ownership. And then we segued into Ray Hagan, and I want the brother TEHUTI to expound on your assignment, because he always talks about this. But if you didn't notice, and if you haven't been noticing, the just fantastic music in the background, you hear our music. I've had so many people ask me, hey, man, where did you get that song from? Where did you, are you guys going to have a soundtrack? Or what is that in the back? What track number is that? I get this all the time, man. TEHUTI the Fly Virgo, man, is the program director and engineer for the station, and he does a phenomenal, this is a God gift for this brother, man. He was born to do it. He was born to do it. Now, even though I did beat him in the DJ competition with Michael Jackson versus Prince, I was railroaded. It's okay. But
oh my God,
this man was born to deal with music. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. He's a bad brother.
Yeah. Well, I'm humble.
I had to throw my jab at that.
Yeah, I know, man. Even though it's a fallacy and it's all make-believe, it didn't happen like that. Me and Prince kicked ass that night. We did. You can check it out on Blog Talk Radio. Go to blogtalkradio.com/WMLR, where you can check out all of our archive shows. We have so much to offer. We had some great shows. We had some shows where we had a lot of technical difficulties, but we hung in there anyway. Check out KHONSU's Corner. Please, you're talking about a wealth of information and knowledge. I was blessed for this brother to come into the picture. Shout out to my main man, Melvin Jefferson, who made that happen. Yeah, definitely him. And yes, indeed. So, man, just a great opportunity, and it's great working with somebody that's brilliant, just as brilliant as you are, because KHONSU is just as musically inclined. I mean, it's amazing. I remember when we first started talking KHONSU, and we were running down, the software we use, and we got all of the same stuff. So I was like, wow, that's dope. That's real dope. So we're glad to be here. Glad that you're here. So let's get into it, man. I've got a retort, a response to a young lady.
Well, now.
She goes by Mel McKinnis, and I watched the video. I was going to try to chop it up, and, we'll do that next time. Hopefully, maybe if she gets wind of this, she will want to come on the show and defend herself.
Okay.
As I said, defend.
Yes.
Because that's what it's going to be. Now, the question was, can a black woman emasculate a black man? Emasculating meaning to deprive him of being a man, of depriving him, of not letting him be the man. That's the end of the argument right there. I really ain't got to say no more, because a lot of these women now are playing and taking on the role of the male, and they will say, well, that's because black men ain't doing what they're supposed to do. I will be glad when the time comes when we don't have to talk about self-inventory so much, when we actually see the information and the knowledge being applied. If you're not doing real self-inventory, then you are missing it. You cannot change something that you don't admit to, or that you are unaware exists about yourself, and then ask yourself why things don't work out. Why am I single for so long? Why can't I keep somebody in my life? If you never do real self-inventory, if you are the type of person that cannot admit to your shortcomings and actively do something to change it, then you're a problem. You're presenting a problem. And this is fundamentally one of the issues when it comes to relation bridges between black men and black women, is our communication fails. And this is a good point. Can a black woman emasculate a black man? And the answer to that is she can be part of the process. it's a process that deals with the emasculation of black men. It's not just one aspect, it's multifaceted. And a black woman can be a part of that process. Most of the time, our black women are. Why? There's a reason. See, KHONSU, and then I want you to expound upon it as well. But the problem is, we have been taught from a totally backwards perspective. Dr. Amos Wilson talks about this in his lecture, The Relationship Between Black Men and Black Women. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch that. Go watch that, and then apply what you learn. That's what we're hoping, because that's what we got to do. It's one thing to watch the videos and read the books, but if you don't apply the knowledge, then you're missing it. That's where the issue falls in. And this is where we can strengthen ourselves. Even as black men, we are failing our black women. And so now the black woman is trying to relieve herself of any responsibility. And we got to stop that, because we do know that feminists exist. We talked about Hetzepu Hussies. A Hetzepu Hussie is a feminist with self-knowledge, knowledge of self. A feminist is a woman who is upholding the ideology of a European concept created by one Gloria Steinem. And again, please do your research. I hope you got your pen and pad ready. I told you it's going to be a mixture of everything tonight. Gloria Steinem is the real reason why black feminist women exist. These women don't even know who Gloria Steinem is. They don't know the role she played in the demise of the so-called civil rights movement. Okay, and it has affected our relation bridges. It really, truly has, because what's been created is this mindset that as a woman, you can be and say and do what you want because you're a woman, and that's garbage. That's garbage. And it's a selfish perspective. Black men, we have to conform from the very beginning. We have to ask you permission for everything. Anything that we do. Can I call you? Can I come see you? Can I take you out? Can I come over? Will you come over? Can we go out to the movies? Can I come meet your parents? Can I come? You know, we have to ask all of these things. Can I call you? How late can I call you? How late can I come over? You know, can I spend the night? Can you spend the night? We have to ask all of these questions. Okay, so we're conforming from the beginning, ladies. This queen says that, she says, black women don't emasculate black men. Black men emasculate themselves. I'm going to throw that to you, KHONSU.
That's it?
I'm going to throw that to you. She said that black women don't, there's no way a black woman can emasculate a black man. But then she flips it and she says, but there are some black women who don't know how to talk to black men. They treat them disrespectful. They do this, that, and the third. She kind of downplayed that and then went back on her attack, her feministic point of views of black men. She says that black men give their power over to black women. And so therefore, it's not the black woman's fault, it's his fault. Because what that means is he never had his manhood anyway. So a black woman can't take or can emasculate a black man. You say what to that, KHONSU? What do you say to that?
Well, you know, unequivocally, I disagree with her, respectfully. Poor thing, you know. Please, sis, come on to the show so we can give you some education. We don't have a problem enlightening some of our melanated queens on what it's like to be a melanated queen. Truthfully, the reason why she plays a role in our emasculation is because she's not a kingmaker. And a queen can only make a king. Why would a king settle for nothing less? The king don't marry the handmaiden. He marries his queen, the one that will hold him to the standard of being a king and support and give him the opportunity to create and build his kingdom. Now, mind you, in this particular paradox that we're in, we don't have ownership of much. So the term king and queen are really terms of endearment. And I speak to Neely Fuller when I say that in the codified usage of our language. We are kings by title. We have not reached justice to a point where we own land and are be able to bequeath wealth to our queens. However, our melanated queens, particularly the one here, we need you to build your king with the support of your king and giving him the tools that he needs in assistance to make him king. You are our helpmate. We need you to assist our kingship. So you have to reinforce us. You have to help us with our confidence. You have to be our confidant. We should be able to confide in you the things that you don't throw in our face later that are personal to us. These are certain little things that can tend to emasculate the man as we shelter and shut down with our queens because we don't trust them. We don't know if this is our ride or die. And so this is what we mean by the queen. She aids in some aspects of the black man becoming emasculated. We're not putting it all on you, queen.
No.
But you do play a factor in something.
And just for the sake of the argument, there are some weak-minded black men out here, but let's not forget the cause, ladies. There's a reason why the majority of our black men are like they are. If you never deal with the cause of the situation, then you can't change it. It's as simple as that. We have to get to a point where we start from the beginning and not the middle, okay? If we do this, then we go all the way back and we study the allegories that our ancestors told, the story of Aset and Asar. If she would have felt like, you know, okay, you went out and lost the battle and then got cut up into 14 pieces, you soft. You emasculated yourself. She didn't take that attitude. She sent her military out and said, go find. Remember the story now. The brother Set had killed Asar, cut his body up into 14 pieces, 13 pieces, and then scattered them about the land. This woman didn't give up and say, oh, well, you know, he was soft. He lost. I thought he was hard. He lost. And, you know, so I'm going to go with his brother and we're going to make moves. She didn't do that. She sent her military out and told him, go find every body part. Go find it and bring it to me. Because she understood her role of putting back together a broken man. Our women don't seem to get that. They don't seem to understand that there is a cause for the mindset that we are seeing now. We are seeing our men be feminized. They're wearing dresses and flooding pants up to their calves and baby capris. You might as well call them capris. We are seeing all of these things happening, and we are blaming the disease. We're blaming the victim of the disease as opposed to the disease. Now, that's not to suggest that we use these things as an excuse. I'm not suggesting that. But in order to properly combat this thing, you have to know the cause. You have to know where it began, why it began. Neely Fuller Jr. once again says, if you do not understand the system of racism, white and Jewish supremacy, what it is and how it works, then everything you understand about racism will confuse you. You will think that your black man doesn't love you, won't defend you, won't support you, would rather have another ethnic woman from another ethnic group. You will think these things. You will blame the black man for everything that's went wrong in your life. You won't look at the decision you made, the choice you made, and the man that you selected. And then the next man pays for it. Yeah. The next man pays for it, KHONSU. So yes, a black woman can aid, play a part, play a significant role. Our black woman is supposed to be our refuge. We're at battle all day out here in the world. And our women is supposed to be our refuge. You're not supposed to add to the stresses and strains of being, just like a black man is not, brothers, you're not supposed to add to your woman. If you see your woman struggling with something emotionally, then you have to learn how to be supportive. And I'm guilty of it too, KHONSU. You know, sometimes as a man, you just don't want to be bothered. You're like, oh God, here we go again. There's always something. Jesus, what is wrong with you, woman?
Well,
but you love her.
Can I
go
say
ahead.
this, brother?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You said something that was really prophetic, you know, because it's very relative to today. Brothers, do us a favor, melanated kings. Just admit that your woman is gonna get on. Just let me give you just a bit of advice. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 48 at the end of this month. Just accept that you're gonna love your queen with all your heart, but she's gonna get on your nerves, man. You know, the feminine energy is grounded to the earth. That means that they are deeply rooted emotionally. So their intuition is all about feeling. You ever notice your queen is gonna say, I feel this and I feel that? And we're not as connected to the earth like that because we are moving around the earth, man. We gotta move the earth. We gotta make things happen. So be patient and take solace in knowing she's gonna get on your nerves sometimes. And just say, baby, you know, I love you so much, but you really get on my nerves. Just let her know. Like, baby, periodically, you just get on my nerves. But I love you now. Don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. I'm not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
But just know that we're gonna have some disagreements, and sometimes, baby, I don't know where you come from, something. But that's just a little bit of advice, so you can get along with the princess, man, with your queen. Just get over it, guys. We'll be all right.
And it's very difficult. Another thing we want to be mindful of as black men is when our woman is emotionally unstable, which is a lot of the times, you know, it just all depends on the day and the weather and which direction the wind is blowing, and if the full moon is out, you know, it depends on a lot of variables. But the one thing we have to be mindful of is our words. We have to be careful when we disagree with our queens. Keep in mind that there's so much power in your words, and when you say things, you cannot take it back. And when you're angry, you know, it doesn't become about anymore, I just want you to hear what I'm saying. Now it becomes, well, okay, you pissing me off, so now I'm gonna say something to piss you off. Let's just keep it 100. That's what it becomes. It's like a miniature war. And it's a war, fellas, honestly, that we'll end up losing. We'll be on the losing end of it. So it's not even worth it. So, you know, we always talk about the 5 love languages. Learn those. Learn your mates and apply them. And it's a daily thing. It's not something you learn and then you say, oh, yeah, I learned them. And then you put them on the shelf. You got to apply the knowledge. This is where we fall short. And men, we have to be men. We do. There's too many women. And you know how I know it's changed? Because you can be out somewhere and you hold the door open for a woman and she won't even say thank you. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of them don't even wait for you to open the door. I remember a time when a woman would stop in her tracks. If you was right there, she waiting on you to open the door. Women now, they go and just grab the handle and open the door. And they will all say the same thing. Well, I'm not used to it. Well, then what kind of men are you attracting in your cipher? What kind of energy are you putting out to attract the type of man that can't be a gentleman to you? That's a man that doesn't see the divine in you. And brothers, be careful and beware of a woman that does not see the divine in you. This will be a woman who diminishes how you feel about things. She obviously does not see the divine in you. Our queens need to get to that point. It's not a one-sided thing because you're the woman. You are supposed to get everything all the time your way. That's not how it works. And know your men. Know your man. Go ahead, KHONSU. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, guys and brothers, your health, your mental health is important. As men, we don't discuss this a lot. Sometimes we sweep it under the rug. You know, some of the abuse that you take as a child, it's not popular for the man or males to talk about how they may have been physically, sexually, or mentally abused as children. So these are things that you have to address. So dealing with mental health professionals is nothing to be ashamed of. If you find a licensed or trained professional that you trust and that you have a rapport with, invest in your health, because when you hit 40, a male's decline is extremely fast. Trust me when I tell you, your health, physically and mentally, you lose balance with your goddess. Because when she hits 40, she is truly in her prime. So she can actually outgain you in the relationship, and it can be an imbalance. And our queens put up with a lot as we decline very quickly from 40. Between 40 and 50, we decline very quickly. And I have to give shout out to our melanated queens who even deal and put up with us as we do deteriorate, because a lot of us don't maintain our health, mentally or physically, and you still love us the same, and we appreciate you for that. So, melanated kings, step your game up. Change the game, change the paradox. Keep your A game up, man, so you can keep her A game. So I just wanted to shoot that out there.
Absolutely. The responsibility, you know, when my queen and I started talking, right at the beginning, we had a conversation, and I said to her, I said, you know, when I look at you, I'm aware of the responsibility that it takes to be your king. Let me say that one more time.
She's got to be the one. Okay.
Yeah,
she's
definitely, she's the one, King. She is. I mean, she gets on my nerves. Man. She does. I just want to shake her sometime, but I won't do it. I love her to life,
and like, she finna take my brother, man. Oh man.
Yeah, no. And the thing about it, she's very supportive of what we're doing. And so I'm very, very pleased and very proud. Like Curtis Mayfield, and so I'm so proud to be loved by you. So very proud, baby. I want you to know that.
Yes.
You make me whole. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We have our falling out. We have our disagreements. But what's different this time, for me this time around, is that I have somebody that can honestly, who will sit back, who will think about whatever it was we disagreed about, and she, you know, we can come back together and we can talk through it and move through it the way it's supposed to be, using words of affirmation. And this is because we learned each other's 5 love languages. It's not perfect, you know, and sometimes it's questionable. And this is, you're going to have that. You're going to have, you be in love, and then you'll start, you know, something, you have a disagreement, and you say, man, is this the one? You know, you was confident like, yeah, this is the one right here. Then that argument comes and make you go, is this the one? You know what I mean? So just push through that. You have to push through it, and we have to become better with how we express ourselves. And ladies, we want you to express yourself too. We want you to be able to be who you are, but understand too that you can't talk to me sideways. You know, most real black men, you know, we suffer from that. You got to be careful how you say things. I know black women, y'all like to be loud and obnoxious sometimes and unfiltered, but that shit ain't cute. That shit plays out. Might be cute at first. We might like that spunk at the beginning, but yeah, after a while, okay, listen, you know, calm down. You know, I'm just saying, these are things that we can do, and it has to be on both parts. I told my queen, I understand and I accept the responsibilities that come with being your king. You have to know that. If you're getting with a queen or a woman that there are no responsibilities in dating her, then you're with the wrong woman. You want a woman who challenges you, king. You want a woman who keeps you on your toes, not tells you what to do, not try to boss you, not try to usurp authority. There's another word I like, usurp. I like that. Look that up. U-S-U-R-P, usurp. You don't want her to take over, emasculate you. You don't want that. But you do, you know, like KHONSU said, our queen keeps us together. That's what the king, remember this, okay? In our antiquity, in the days of the pharaoh and the rulers of ancient Kemet, they had to go to their mom to decide who the next king was. The pharaoh couldn't make that decision. If his mother had passed, he had to go to his sister.
Correct.
And usually it was his sister's firstborn boy that was successor to the throne.
That's right.
So and it, even with the Zulu Nation, this was a culture that was dominated and ran by the men. But if there was a problem or there was an issue that was going to affect everybody, the women had say, and they would get together, and then they would come back to Shaka Zulu and tell him, like, look at here, nah, this, what you doing is, if there was a story, KHONSU, correct me if I'm wrong, where Shaka Zulu came out and said there would be no sex or nothing like that because they were waiting on something. It was something he was doing that was spiritual.
Right.
And the women got together and said, you can't punish everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that, kings, we have to realize the role and the importance in the decision making that our women play. But queens, it's not for you to dictate and run and have everything your way, that I'm spoiled and all that. That plays out. That becomes uncute, and you will chase a man away with that type of behavior. If you cannot do real self-inventory and change those things about yourself in order to maintain a functional relation bridge, then you won't have any. You won't have one. TEHUTI said so.
And for those of you who are listening in on the YouTube side, or maybe you're listening or watching TEHUTI from Facebook Live, man, look, become part of the notification game.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. WMLR, just type it in the space bar on YouTube. You'll find us. Click on that. Click on the WMLR logo. Join us by clicking subscribe. And then click on that little bell. So you'll be part of the notification gang, man. So you'll always be on top of everything that we do. If we do a show like this impromptu, man, you're gonna get a notification to your cell phone, to your email. It's gonna be like WMLR is going live now. You're gonna know. So stay in the loop. And if you want to call in tonight, as we come to the bottom of the hour, with about a half hour left in our show, approximately about 34 minutes. Call our number, man. 515 area code 604-9985, access code 719289. When you jump into the green room, just sit back and relax. I'm going to see your number up there, and I'm going to tend to you immediately if you got any questions, comments, or dialogue.
And don't forget to hit the chat box, man. I really like this live time interactive chat box. Shout out to Queen Mayat Amonset, a family member of WMLR. You might remember her as my co-host for More Love. Check out the shows. We did some incredible shows. We did some awesome topics, all dealing with the unification of black men and black women. You see, that's what we promote here. Notice, if you've been watching, notice that, yes, I spoke to the feminist black woman in that mindset, but we also talk to the men directly too and talk about the responsibilities. Brothers, know the responsibilities that exist when you are dating someone, when you are seeking to build, not dating. We should be looking for a wife, right? So when you're looking for your wife and you meet her and you think that's the one, then that means you are prepared and you fully understand the responsibilities that come along with being with her. And it's a beautiful thing. It's like knowing your assignment. It's a beautiful thing, a very beautiful thing. Going back to that too, KHONSU, because I didn't get to reply to Dr. Hagen's that clip there. When I first heard it, I was just like, wow, you know, that is what it is. What he's talking about, what's needed now, what we need now. And that is the people who have the knowledge, the people who are on their path of negrescence. I don't use the word conscious because we've been using that word in the wrong context. Everybody and everything is conscious. A squirrel has consciousness. If a squirrel is in the middle of a road and a car is coming at that squirrel, what is that squirrel going to do? He's going to save his own life. So he is very conscious and aware of danger. And man, wait a minute. I may not be able to say the word car, but that thing will kill me. So let me get over here out the way so that I don't die. That's a conscious state.
Exactly.
We have to really, I can't express it enough, the power of words, man. We have to get back to the real meaning of words so that we are being clear when we speak and so that it is understood. And we need to know how to use it. We need to learn how to disagree. Queen Amusette and I did a show on that, the art of disagreeing. And there's a way to do it. It's hard. It's difficult. Like KHONSU said, sometimes you just want to just... Sometimes you just want to go, you know, and it's just, whoo, yes, man. But, you know, you have to learn. And I'm speaking to myself first. I'm a work in progress, and I'm still learning. I don't have it all together. I'm still trying to achieve self-mastery on a lot of levels, okay? So when we do these shows are therapeutic for us as well, okay? And we bounce things off of one another. I learned from KHONSU, and I hope that I impart that to him as well. But, you know, that's what it is. We've got to be mindful of the words that we use. We can't be afraid to give compliments. We can't be afraid to accept compliments. We can't be afraid to get correction. Because, you know, if I love you and you're doing something that's detrimental to us, then I'm going to say something. It's only when I don't say anything and I stop mentioning it, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's what most men, KHONSU. Sure. If we get to the point where the same thing keeps happening, and okay, you know what? I'm not even going to address it anymore. Because now I'm losing interest in the whole thing altogether because this thing keeps reoccurring. And so therefore, it's no sense of me even addressing it. I've addressed it 1 billion times. You're not hearing me. So you know what? You keep doing what you're doing. Keep thinking how you think. That's what ends up happening. So we got to stop it before it gets to that point. Mm-hmm. Understand the responsibilities and stop the meritorious manumission of our relation bridges.
Well, this kind of segues into my question that I was going to pose to you today, and all the listeners out there. When is it time to forgive, and do you ever forget? Queens, kings. When you get to an impasse, maybe an argument that just can't be solved right away. When is it time to forgive, and do you ever forget?
It's a good question. The time to forgive is when you understand the value of the relation bridge. There are some instrumental things that we have got to start seeing in one another. That's the divine. I have to see your direct connection to the universe. I have to be able to see that. And I need to be able to value you. Your man needs to be able to value you. Your queen needs to be able to value you. She needs to be able to see the divine. And these are things that we need to be able to say. KHONSU, I made a comment. A while ago. I'm going to stop calling all women queens. Because there are a lot of women who won't even twist their mouth to say the word king or even look at you as a king. They won't even acknowledge you as such. So why am I acknowledging you as royalty? Why am I acknowledging the divine in you and you don't even see it in me? It's not one-sided, ladies. Yes, we know that the black woman was here first. We know that the black woman is a god, but so is the black man. And it's time for us to start valuing one another. That's when you know. When you get into it with somebody and you say, well, okay, you know what? What did we argue about? It was really nothing. So I'll go ahead and be the one. We got to get over that pride. Well, she was wrong or he was wrong and I'm not saying anything because they was wrong. You're waiting on somebody to acknowledge that they're wrong. You might be waiting a long time, quite honestly. Nobody wants to be wrong.
Right.
So I think the answer to your question, KHONSU, is when you see the value, when you realize, you know what, my loving you, my being peaceful with you is far worth more than any disagreement. This is not a reason for us to fall out, baby. Okay, what did we argue about? What was it? I didn't call you. Okay, sweetheart, you know what? I'm gonna be more mindful to call you when I get home from work. Okay? That bothers you and it makes you feel a certain way. I don't want that because why? Because I value you. I love you. I see the divine in you. I know who you are. I don't want to upset that. And I don't want somebody else to try to creep in and do the things that I'm supposed to do. This is where we fall short, man. We can't take it for granted. And we've got to be honest and humble about certain things. I'm not a big, teaching humble person, but there are sometimes you have to concede.
That's right.
And say, you know what? It's worth having peace versus this beef that we got over nothing.
And
what do you think, KHONSU?
I agree with you, man. I don't, for the sake of redundancy, I don't have to elaborate very deeply outside of, learning to forget. Learn to forget the mistakes and the shortcomings of the ones you have. Learn to just let go. Because ask yourself, how much do I love this person? Sometimes we get into relationships, we become serial daters. When you get older, you start assessing, what am I dating for? Because generally, in an ideal situation, you date in order to get married. Because eventually, you date and then you're going to start courting that person, and you guys start creating the ability to marry. And say, okay, you know what, we're ready to create a lifelong commitment. So I think that it's all about forgetting and definitely forgiving for the sake of the argument. You see, as the brother TEHUTI said so powerfully, the divine connection of that person to the universe. When you see that connection, you know that that's something that is just beyond value. It has no value, and you cannot afford to lose that. Don't let your male pride get in the way, kings. Apologize to your queen. Do what you got to do. You got to get on your knees. You got to cook that favorite meal. You got to do what you got to do, man. Because the relationship's working. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes.
WMLR More Life Radio, man, it's been great. We are so happy that you are tuning in to our new home. Yeah, we had to be done with Blog Talk, and you outgrow everything, right? And we definitely outgrew Blog Talk Radio. Very appreciative of the format for allowing us to catapult things and get things started. But yeah, it was time to move on, and YouTube, it seems to be right now, seems to be the way to go until the next hot thing pops up. You know how it goes. It changes.
Right.
So we're very glad that you guys are here with us, and we're going to do this on Thursday nights right here, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, broadcasting live from Dallas in the sky. Absolutely. And bringing just positive vibes and trying to bring something that's going to edify black men. We need that in such a bad way. It is difficult being a black man out here. I live in the South now, and I'm going to tell you, it is very different. You have to bridle your tongue so much down here. You have to really pretend. It's hard. It's hard for me, but it's necessary right now to do it. And the thing about when you run into people who benefit from white privilege, they know it, and they know that you really don't have a whole lot that you can say. So you got to take some things. So just remember when you leave home to make sure your crown is in place, black man. Don't let anybody pull you off your square. We are falling by the wayside, and we have to strengthen ourselves, and we have to strengthen each other. We do. Call your homeboy up and tell him you love him, man. Sometimes you just don't know those words, how powerful they are, and somebody needed to hear that, and you probably didn't even know that they needed to hear it, and then you say it to them, and they're like, whoa, wow, man, cool, and you just never know when you help somebody with that. So we black men, we have to get back to the place where we used to walk up the street and you see another brother and y'all walk past each other and you say, hey, peace, how you doing, King? Hey, how you, what's happening, bro? We spoke to each other. We admonished one another. We got to get back to that place we've gotten away from it, and it's on us, brothers. It's on us. It is. There are some things that are on us. We are accountable for, and there are some things that we're not. There are some things, you know, and that's crazy because Dr. Claude Anderson talked about that. He talked about forced choices and voluntary choices. There are some things that are forced choices, and there are some things that are voluntary choices. And a lot of times the things that we do are voluntary choices. So we got to make sure we're making the right decisions, KHONSU, you know?
That's true. And even being, you know, conscious of it, that we actually comprehend the differences between those two choices. That's very important too, because it's, you know, again, the mental dexterity, you know, self-assessment is the doorway to enlightenment. Once you have the ability to assess yourself non-biased, and just think about this, everybody. When you assess yourself, it's personal. Nobody needs to know what you're disappointed in about yourself, but you know, and you address it. And you know that you're a work in progress. Don't put undue pressure on yourself. You know, just fix it. Take your time and enjoy the ride. This life is a beautiful thing, and it's meant to be enjoyed. We have our challenges, we have our struggles, and we're going to address those as needed. But love your life and live it to the fullest, man. You only have one life to live. Don't be concerned with anything else. And make yourself first. Make yourself a top priority. Even above your own children. We do for our children. We sacrifice for our children. But we can only do so much. If you're not in place, how are you going to help the children? We got to come out of that complex that Christianity has put on us. That's another topic. But we definitely going to touch in on what Christianity did to us in this country. We don't talk about religion much, but we definitely need to touch on it because it's affected us a great deal.
Great deal.
Great deal, man. It's really put us in a trick box.
And it still is. It still is. It's still something that, you know, our people, I've said on many occasions, cognitive dissonance is a mental disorder. You know, cognitive dissonance is where you have been taught certain things and you might even see the evidence, but because of the fear that you've been taught when with regard to religion, you're afraid to break away from it. And so you just you hold on to it, you cleave to it. You don't even fully understand. It's funny to me how the Bible talks about women, but then women are the biggest supporters of the church and not really even understand where it came from. You know, I made this comment the other day, you know, I really don't, I'm like you, KHONSU. Now I've learned on my path of negrescence, you know, before when I first got started, man, religion is what I went after because I was pissed. I was.
And that's usually the first step. You know, misogyny is laden throughout the Bible. And, you know, we're going to dedicate an episode to disambiguating religion from the Christian aspect. We do have a lot of organic things that are spiritual in African ontology. And that's another word that I like is ontology. And that ontology means the psychological disposition, your psychological being able to know what right is and wrong naturally, because we are encumbered under arbitrary law right now. Everything that we do involving law is arbitrary. Somebody can shoot somebody in Texas and get life, and the same crime that happens in Wisconsin and get 10 years. An officer can shoot a black man in cold blood and walk away. This is arbitrary law. So we've gotten away from our natural law of the land, being sentient beings of a higher power, which legislates an eye for an eye, or murder is an unforgivable crime. These are certain things that we have fallen victim to because of our lack of relativity and conscious to self. We've lost that intimate feeling. And because we don't have knowledge of self, we don't have knowledge of our ancestors. we don't have a connection with our ancestors, we lose the family structure. Mm-hmm. And Christianity took the family structure out of the home and put them in the clouds. And that right there is a crime. That is a very huge problem in African ideology, man. We gotta give notice to that.
And let's start dealing with the differences between religion and spirituality. I you know, talking, my queen and I, we have building sessions and we talk and enjoy certain conversations. And we were talking about this very thing today. And I told her, I said, we have a plethora of black women out here who are very religious. As I just said, black women are the biggest supporters of the church, of a Christian church, any denomination. Doesn't matter. You're going to go to that church and the majority of the members will be women. So we have to get back to knowing the difference between religion and spirituality. Mm-hmm. When we talk about religion, it is not to suggest, because you know how we are, KHONSU, because of cognitive dissonance. When you get to talking about Jesus and God, or Jesus as God, when you get to talking about that, oh, hold on now. Hold your mule. Let me hold my mule. Don't you be talking about my religion. Don't you be talking about Jesus. Don't you blaspheme up in here. You would get your head flown by a Christian if you get to talking about it and they don't want, you know. And so there, you know, and I was telling her, I said, you have women who go to church every weekend. Christianity does not teach you to be held, to hold yourself accountable. It teaches you to make excuses for your shortcomings. It teaches you to place it on some other deity, outside deity from yourself. You have control. And so we have to get to a place where we understand once again, the difference between spirituality and religion. My relation bridge with my woman is spiritual. That has to be in place. You can have a physical connection with a woman and it's going to last it's going to be short. You want a spiritual connection. You want a queen that you can connect with spiritually. Y'all may not even be on the same page when it comes to certain ideologies, and that's okay, because if there's balance and if she is loving you and can see the divine in you, then she will accept the knowledge that you have to offer. She will respect it and she will trust it. Mm-hmm. A lot of our black women are not there yet because we don't have that knowledge. We don't know the difference. We don't understand that the things we've been taught about loving one another comes from someone else's perspective. There was a time when black men revered black women, uplifted black women. What happened? Where did that go? You have to deal with the cause. And it starts with the mindset. We have got to get better when it comes to knowing the difference of religion and spirituality. When we get with somebody, when we are building our relation bridge, it should be a spiritual connection. Me and my baby call it Wi-Fi, because right now we're miles apart from each other. So we have to stay connected. And so we use the Wi-Fi as a symbol. You know, wireless connection, and it covers so much ground, a certain radius. Our love covers from Texas back up to Michigan and everything in between. That's that Wi-Fi. And it's a struggle. It is. It can be a struggle. But when you're with somebody who can see the divine in you, when you're with somebody who values you and values what you have with you, then those things are minuscule. Those are some minor problems. And that goes back to your question, KHONSU. When is it a time to say, you know what, let's move past this? My queen calls it getting stuck.
Right.
She'll tell me all the time, now there you go, baby, you're getting stuck. Because I'm an analytical thinker, so I want to break it all the way down to the barest compound. I want to make sure we're getting understanding. So I kind of go into the thing deep, and she'll accuse me of being stuck.
You know, I'm going to get my outros out the way, and Brother Tehuti's going to close us out. You know, this new format is awesome. You know, we have so much creative things that we want to provide for our listening audience. We care for you so much, and it's about to be an exciting ride. We promise we won't let you down. We appreciate the loyalty that we get from our listeners. We got a lot of loyal listeners, man. We appreciate that. And you are going to be very, very proud of how WMLR is going to develop. You know, the 3-year anniversary is coming up. I'm very fortunate that I'm going to be a part of that. We really going to rejoice, man, because we got nothing but great things coming ahead. And so I just want to wish everybody health, wealth, and prosperity. And do wish all of you well, man, and, you know, hope that you achieve the things that you're trying to achieve in life. And, you know, it's all about bettering you. And how could I knock that? You know, I couldn't do that. So, you know, from KHONSU, SHESHMU, AMUN, I appreciate each and every one of you. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to turn the floor over to the mighty king, TEHUTI, Fly Virgo.
Oh, it's been a stone gas family. So glad that y'all joined in. So happy to see people coming out. And we just ask that you spread the word. You know, let people know that, you know, you found this show. If this is your first time, we would thank you, and we hope that you come back. We're going to do this next Thursday. We'll be right here live and in full effect talking about what kings talk about. You know, you never know. If you want to know, you got to tune in. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to give a special thanks to KHONSU. You guys really don't know how important this is. You know, I know I've had people, you know, look at it and say, "Oh, this is probably just a hobby," but this is very important. And this is it has become therapeutic for myself and KHONSU. And I'm very thankful for the brother, and thankful for you as the supporters, and just ask that you keep on growing with us. You know, grow with us. That's what we're doing. We're in a growth process, and we're going to grow. We're going to get big. We're going to go through the roof, and we want you guys to be there. As I always say to you, because I mean it, I love you. I really do. And now you can see me when I tell you that, right? I love you. I love you, right? So I love to be able to say that. And also remember, whenever you feel like you're nearing the end of your rope, just tie a knot. Keep hanging. Keep remembering that ain't nobody bad like you. Can you dig that? I knew you could. Until next Thursday, family, thank you. Rest well, and we will see you. You'll see us right here, YouTube, on our new YouTube station, WMLR More Life Radio, your #1 station dedicated to Black emancipation, and you know that. Peace.
I know you've been laying back a long time, oh, but keep laying a little longer, brother. Yeah, laying, oh, brother, I've been watching everything you do, boy, yes I have, and I've been wishing only good for you. All you gotta do is just want it, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Oh yeah, you gonna come, brother, yeah. I know you've been laying back a long, long time. You've been laying back. I love you like no other. Love you like no other. Yeah. Brother. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. always been so good to me. Oh, yes, you have. And though you didn't always talk to me, there wasn't much my loving eyes could not see.